My dad is leaving tomorrow. I do not know where. Well, he's going to a fire, but I don't know which fire or where it is. He's usually gone for like 2 weeks.
I grew up in Garden Valley, California. As a young man living in this area, you kind of really only had 3 options. Go do construction, you get into logging, or you become a firefighter for the Forest Service. And so I got a job with the agency 2 days after graduating high school.
Ben Strawn is a hotshot, one of roughly 2,300 elite wildland firefighters employed by the federal government and sent to the country's most dangerous wildfires.
This is a bandana for, I don't put this over my face for smoke purposes. This is legitimately what I blow my nose in for 14 days straight. And I've used it for 20 years.
This is his first year as the leader of his own crew.
We're going to the North Complex fire tomorrow. The fire's, I think, almost 300,000 acres. I remember big fires when I first started were like 20,000 acres. Our last assignment was the August Complex. I have never seen a fire this big in California, ever. Nobody has. We probably don't have enough people to do the job that we're currently doing.
What's going through your mind right now, the night before you have to deploy?
Right now, it's all about getting good sleep and waking up so that I have the best ability to process and make good decisions. Everybody is tired, man. All they want to do is just disconnect and just chill. Like really take it down a notch and not think about the fire at all.
I used to look at all the fires all the time and was constantly almost obsessed with it. Now all the fires just kind of blend together. And I just don't want to know because it just makes me more nervous. So I think the less I know, the better sometimes.
From May to mid-November, Ben and his crew typically work 14-day shifts with 2 days off between each assignment.
You mean turn?
Yeah.
Which way? This way?
Yeah. I sometimes worry about him, but not that much because he's good at it.
Don't forget the sideburns, girl.
Yeah. I got it. He's been doing this for a long time, so I know he won't get hurt or anything.
Okay. This is my 20th fire season. It's kind of sad in a way, honestly, that we've gotten to a point where this is like, you know, I just leave for 2 weeks and I come home, and then I leave for 2 weeks and I come home. This is just the cycle that everybody's kind of used to.
Hotshots fight fires more like lumberjacks, digging trenches with pickaxes, cutting down flaming trees with chainsaws, and strategically setting fires to remote swaths of land to stop wildfires from spreading. They're called hotshots because traditionally crews have been sent to work on the hottest part of the fire.
Hotshot crews are a national resource, so we go where the priority lies. Right now, it's pretty apparent that the priorities are in California.
4 million acres have burned in California this year. Lightning strikes coupled with record-breaking hot weather, low humidity, and wind have fueled the largest wildfires the state has ever seen.
All right, dudes, you guys all ready? Ready. All right, here we go.
The demand for hotshots is so high that most crews are clocking more than 1,000 hours of overtime per season.
Describe a hotshot for me.
For me, it's that person that loves fighting fire in the worst conditions, can take shit day in and day out. It takes a toughness, not just physically, but a mental toughness. It's hot, steep country, you're just pounding dirt. You'll see on the people's faces when they had a hard shift, they get that that beat down look. Their eyes are sunken in. They look tired, hungry, and they're just kind of like just quiet, walking around. But for me, the hardest moments is seeing one of your friends or one of your coworkers get hurt. I've always had a hard time dealing with that. On this crew alone, I've seen a couple of them get hurt pretty bad. But things do happen. I mean, all it takes is one time for the fire to be right and you to be wrong, and I mean, you pay the ultimate price.
Okay, I know DJ and Mark already kind of gave you the gist of the briefing. Firestorm 6 is down there. Just to pass on, they did have a guy get injured yesterday. He fell down a cliff, it sounds like, and got some pretty significant burns, but he's doing okay.
On average, 16 wildland firefighters are killed on the job each season.
How's this stuff looking up here?
Looked pretty active earlier. We were working a spot that was like off the line.
Hotshot crews like Ben's are working overtime to keep the fires in check, sometimes pulling 24 or even 48-hour shifts.
And this whole chunk of land here is open and it has hot burning material right on the edge. Like we would usually have people stringed out there securing edge.
Yeah.
And there's nobody out there because we don't have the resources. It's that kind of season.
What is contributing to the fact that you're so under-resourced?
So we have a lot of fires going on, and then I would say retention problems, to be quite honest with you. We don't have enough people to do the amount of firefighting that we need to do.
Why is it so hard to retain your folks?
A, this job is really difficult. 2, we have other agencies that honestly pay a lot better, and you can be home a lot more. It was bad when we couldn't compete with our cooperators, our local government, our state, and now our power company. And then it was really bad when we couldn't compete with McDonald's. That's one of the reasons why my old superintendent left.
Does that feel good?
Aaron Humphrey had been an El Dorado hotshot for more than 2 decades. He led Ben and his team for 5 years before leaving last season.
This is probably the first time I've ever been on the same field with my 2 children right here. And I think about Ben, I think about Mondo and these guys, and there's very few times that they get to do stuff like this.
When you were a hotshot, what kind of a father were you?
When I look at my kids, I feel like that part was absent. And these dudes do everything they can to be present, but yet we can't provide without overtime because of the money we're paid. Forest Service employees are paid garbage. It's trash.
Why did you ultimately leave and stop being a hotshot?
I had to reach a point mentally and physically where I was hurting. I have a partially torn Achilles, body hurts, I can't sleep, my brain doesn't shut off. I was an asshole to my family. I don't think the Forest Service grasps what they put their people through.
If you think you got the conditions to go, then by all means, I'll give you the green light.
All right, fucking A. I like that shit.
At night, as the winds die down and humidity drops, Ben and his team decide to set a prescribed burn.
There's only one natural disaster that humans actually try and manipulate, and that's fire.
For people that might think it's strange that you're using fire to fight fire, can you explain why you do that?
Is kind of counterproductive, it would seem to someone who doesn't understand it, that putting more fire in the environment would be a bad thing. But the reality is it can help you keep fires smaller. DJ is going to run the burn. He'll pick the people he wants to burn with him, his little burn group. And then 2 engines are on their way right now from the other side to help us.
So what are your guys in there doing right now?
We have a fire that's approaching us, the main body of fire. And we're utilizing roads and dozer line to put a containment line around it, but we need to strengthen these lines up so that when the approaching fire gets here, it has a better chance of stopping the progression of the fire.
What would happen if hotshots didn't exist?
Man, that is a scary thing to think about. I would assume bigger fires. and probably more people getting hurt. When we come to fires, we're heavily leaned upon to help people. If we're not here, who's going to do that?
Four of the 5 biggest fires in California's history have burned this year. The North Complex is now the 6th largest, leaving state and federal resources spread thin.
I'm gonna make my way out to the ridgeline right now, and I'll get you a flash. The theme of this year, since we're so spread thin, has been a lot of ground with not a lot of bodies on it.
Okay, I got your flash there.
So right now, I ordered up a helicopter to come in here and start doing some bucket work. They're gonna come in here and help put water on some of this fire because there's not gonna be anybody in this area for a long time. He's just gonna keep doing that, shuttling water basically in that bucket and dropping it on our heat down here. Either A, putting it out, ideally, or B, keeping it in check until we can get people here. That bucket ship will help us contain and control the fire till we can get boots on the ground.